Tonight at 5, we're getting our first look at Maxwell Anderson's arrest after prosecutors say he killed and dismembered Sade Robinson.
As Anderson's homicide trial continues in its second week, prosecutors are still building their case for jurors. Bill Miston is live with testimony from a key witness today. Bill?
Yeah, good evening, guys. We heard from Anderson's former tenant who lived downstairs in his house on South 39th Street. And this tenant moved out about a week after Anderson was arrested. Now, even though the prosecution called him to the stand, the defense hopes what he heard or didn't hear sticks with the jury.
Any weapons on him, sir?
No. On April 4th, sheriff's detectives spotted Anderson's car.
What's going on?
Started tailing it as he made his way back toward his South Side home and ultimately made a traffic stop.
Mr. Anderson was seated in the driver's seat, physically shaking.
The stop was a ruse, but investigators wanted to stop Anderson before he got home. They already had a warrant to search it.
Knocked on the door, I opened the door, I said, hey, what's going on? I don't know what you're here for, but I know it's not me, so what can I help you with?
Pete Worthington lived in Anderson's lower unit.
It was not uncommon then for you to hear noises coming from his apartment?
Not uncommon at all.
Particularly even at night?
Even at night, yes.
He said Anderson, a bartender, often had people over after bar close.
2 to 3 times a month, there was probably a night where I didn't get any sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Because why?
Because of the noise and the carrying on. I mean, drunk people coming over, falling down the stairs.
Worthington said Anderson kept tools in the basement and did projects around the property, making a lot of noise. But Worthington said he doesn't remember hearing anything of note the night prosecutors say Sade Robinson came back to Anderson's house, or when prosecutors believe Anderson left to dispose of her body.
Did you hear anybody ever scream?
I've heard absolutely nothing. I want to share with the court, I didn't even know that he was there.
It was that quiet.
It was that quiet.
Later that day, a leg was found along the lake near Warnemont Park.
Irregular incised wounds along the amputation margin.
A medical examiner testified Sade Robinson's body parts were likely dismembered after death. Evidence of knife cuts, possible stab wounds. There was caffeine in her system and no detectable levels of alcohol or other drugs. How Robinson died is still a mystery, but the medical examiner said her death was at the hands of someone else.
Dismemberment of the body and an attempt to conceal the body by disposing of it in different locations, also in the water. All of that is objectively suspicious and is most consistent with a homicide.
And homicide detectives took the stand. Some of these detectives in this case have been called back to the stand as the state continues to piece together this entire timeline that spans from around April 1st all the way until when more and more body parts were found in the days and weeks that followed. So we're anticipating that we're going to continue to see more witnesses who have already testified coming back to the stand and testifying about what they know as the state moves its way through this chronological timeline of events as it's prosecuting its case. Reporting live outside the safety building, Bill Miston, FOX 6 News.
Okay, Bill, thank you. Legal expert and criminal defense attorney Julius Kim from the law firm of Kim and Lavoie joined FOX 6 investigator Brian Polson on Wisconsin Live Desk today to discuss the Anderson trial.
Brian asked him specifically about Sade Robinson's death and how the state is approaching it so far.
Now, the state here is trying to thread a very, very small needle, and they don't have a lot of room for error in this particular case. And what we don't have so far from the state is a precise theory in terms of where, when, how Sade Robinson was killed. And so that's going to be a big problem here. I do think the state's going to eventually produce some evidence that shows that Sade Robinson was inside Maxwell Anderson's unit, his apartment. And so that is going to answer some things, but it's not going to tell the whole story.